Monday morning started with a familiar, soft buzz on my phone sitting on the nightstand. It was a message from my wife, Lauren. She had just landed in Las Vegas for a work trip that was supposed to last all week. She sent a photo of herself standing in the airport, smiling and holding her bags. She likely expected me to wish her luck. Instead, I stared at that screen for a long time. I typed back a single reply. Have fun with him. The divorce papers will be waiting when you get home. I saw the gray typing bubbles for 3 seconds, and then they just vanished. For the next 10 minutes, my phone stayed silent. There was no denial and no angry response. That silence told me more than any words ever could. It was the moment the truth filled the room. Looking for the truth. Lauren tried calling 3 times right after that, but I let it ring. I wasn't being mean. I was just finally ready to move forward. I walked to my desk and pulled out a stack of papers I had been collecting for months. I had found weird charges on our credit cards and hotel receipts that did not make sense. I wasn't just guessing anymore. I had finally accepted a sad truth I had been trying to ignore. An hour later, Lauren sent another text saying I was making a mistake, and we really needed to talk. I replied that there was nothing to discuss until she was ready to tell the truth. Again, the typing bubbles appeared and then vanished without a reply. She knew exactly what I meant. I had seen photos from friends where the same man kept appearing far too often, moving forward with a plan. While she was away, I didn't sit around feeling sad. I met with my lawyer and finished all the paperwork we had started talking about in our earlier meetings. I changed my mailing address, organized all our money records, and found a temporary place to stay. I didn't do any of this because I was angry. I did it because we had tried for many months to fix our trust through honest talks that never really went anywhere. Lauren thought my text was just an emotional reaction. She didn't realize I had made my decision long before her plane ever left the ground. Together, those small moments had already told a story I could no longer ignore, and I was finally acting on the truth I had discovered. The phone call to Vegas. 3 days into her trip, she called me from a phone number I didn't know. This time I answered. Her voice was very shaky, like she was crying. She begged me not to file any papers until she got home, saying I was misunderstanding everything. I stayed quiet for a moment and then asked one simple thing. If I showed up in Vegas right now, would I find you at the meetings you told me about? The phone line went dead silent for a long time. Then she whispered, Can we please talk in person? I told her we would, but my lawyer would be there too. That was the end of the call. I felt a strange sense of relief. An empty house. Lauren came back home 2 days early. When she walked to the front door, she saw that my things were already gone. The house looked almost the same, but my side of the closet was empty. On the dining table was a big envelope with the divorce papers and my wedding ring. She picked up the ring with shaking hands and called my name through the empty house. No one answered. A few minutes later, her phone rang. It was me. I told her the papers were real. I didn't send that text to scare her. I sent it because I had already made my choice and there was no going back. Talking at the coffee shop, Lauren started crying and asked to meet one last time before signing anything. I agreed. We met at a quiet coffee shop where we could talk privately. That was when she finally told the truth. She admitted the trip wasn't just for work. She had been seeing another man for several months and told herself she could end it before I ever found out. She cried and said she never wanted to lose me. I looked at her and said, You weren't trying to protect our marriage. You were just trying to protect the lie, so you could keep both lives at once. She lowered her head because she knew I was right, finding peace in silence. In the weeks that followed, the divorce moved forward peacefully. She didn't fight me on anything. She just accepted the responsibility. My friends later asked why I stayed so calm instead of getting angry months earlier. I told them the same thing. By the time I sent that text, the hardest part was already over. I had already dealt with the pain of the truth. Being loud wouldn't have changed anything. Being calm was what helped us both see the path clearly and allowed me to move on with my pride. The last chapter. Later on, I heard that Lauren often told friends my airport text was the moment she knew it was over. She said seeing those words was scarier than any yelling because she knew I finally knew enough. Trust doesn't usually break all at once. It fades away through tiny lies until you finally acknowledge what has been true for a long time. Today, I don't remember the date she went to Vegas. I just remember the feeling of peace that followed once I stopped trying to rescue a relationship that only one of us was protecting. Closure comes from a calm message and the courage to follow through. The marriage ended months before because the trust was gone. Everything else was just the last page of story.